Howdy y'all, Joe Hills here, recording as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee, and I was gonna hang out up here and look at the cool lighthouse and write this, Hermitcraft fanfiction story based on some of y'all's Black Mirror ideas, but unfortunately so many of them were so good, I'm just gonna hop down here, not because I'm distressed, but because I'm excited. I'm actually gonna go ahead and kind of talk about some of the ideas as I build my new house. Now, I kind of like to combine things in episodes. Some people might say, Joe, why don't you talk about building your new house in an episode about building your new house? And I say to them, well, why don't I start an episode about building my new house in the location I'm going to build my new house? Boom. Checkmate, commenters. Actually, commenters, y'all did great. Your Black Mirror suggestions were awesome. So I'm going to start going through some of those. One of the first ones from Canaanite was about... Well, sorry, it's rude of me to talk while I'm chewing. One of the first suggestions from Canaanite was actually about a terraforming project that was powered by liposuction. So you had to make the population fat in order to actually terraform planets, which is interesting because that's a resource scarce environment, but so it works in an interesting way. And let's see, so I'm just working on my little house here, and I'm trying to figure out where the boundaries will be. I want it to go diagonally in from here on this fence. Now, if I was going to write a Hermitcraft fan fiction about that, if I had to pick a hermit to star in that, it would probably obviously be Vintage Beef, because he is the one who's actually working on terraforming a biome. Well, he's not really terraforming the biome to make it Mars. He's not turning Mars into a lush green place, but it's still, I think that the core concept kind of holds up. And in fact, I think I'm going to give this a little bit of extra space on this side. So we're going to replace some of this. And then, obvious supporting characters, though. Maybe it would be something where, he was trying to keep Mars Martian, but then, oh, hey, a zombie. Some of the other characters on the server, like Good Times with Scar and Asuma, were trying to terraform it, but nobody in Minecraft really gets fat. So you have this whole element of I don't know, what creatures do get fat? Cows, I guess, in Minecraft technically get fat. So you could have them, I don't know, fattening cows or something. There's an angle here. Let me just turn this down. I can never tell quite how loud I am. I've moved my desk again because of distance from outlets and stuff, and realizing once I got everything plugged in, I was going to need to be closer. But I kind of want to make sure that the audio on this still comes through okay. So actually, I want the house to go as far back as about here even. Wow. Okay, so this is going to be closer to the cliff than I would like. I might end up even cutting out some of this cliff part here, because I was thinking I'd have the house go about as far back as this fence, which at that point I'm in some real trouble, because yeah, that's going to be a whole thing. Well, we can work on that later. So that was an excellent suggestion from Canaanite. Let me see what some of these other ones were real quick. Lena Bookworm writes, you could turn invisible, but only when you held really big secrets from your close friends and family. And that's a weird one, because you would have to possibly create new secrets in order to be able to actually, take advantage of this. And maybe I'm thinking... this is the footprint of the porch. Maybe I'm thinking a little bit too hard about how I want to do this porch part. I think I'm going to have, the sort of lattice work. So if the porch comes up from under the ground, then I'm actually going to need more fences that come up from under there, which of course I don't have a ton of fence posts right now. Let's go ahead and grab some of those. But, yeah, so the idea is, though, I guess if you were going to become visible again, you would have to tell the secret, so then you'd have to create more secrets, and it would be this, weird cycle. Now, I don't know, well, I guess there's kind of the question of, though, how many people would want to become invisible, and how often. And, if anybody on the server was going to turn invisible, who would it be and why? I'm thinking, maybe hypnotized, because he's been invisible so long on the server. Maybe he's been here playing with us this whole time. Having the fences under the porch might not look, I don't know, latticey enough for maybe what I was hoping to go with, but Because, you know, like, a lot of farmhouses, they'll have, like, a storage area under the front porch. And so that was kind of what I was hoping to achieve here. But I'm thinking this might look weird. But, like, my aunt's farm had one of these. And so, you know, they could store extra equipment. Obviously, they kept a lot of stuff in the barn, but, like, you know, stuff that you would want to have on you, like, right when you left the house or whatever. I don't know. Hey, maybe this is not a good way to do this. But, I mean, the house is never going to get built if we don't start experimenting, so let's go ahead and just start dropping fences in and putting them all in the wrong places. So, yeah. Let's see. So, Hermitcraft fanfiction starring an invisible character with a secret probably would be starring Hypno. Not sure who would be optimal for him to keep the secret from. Maybe me and Biffa, if I was looking for that story. But, I don't know. It's not, I'm not sure. Yeah, this is gonna look too weird. Like, the fence is too close here to the house. So basically, because we have one type of fence, we don't have enough types of, like, grating in Hermitcraft. I guess I could use, like, the metal bars, but that's, insufficient. I don't know. That's gonna look weird, too. We just don't have enough, like, lattice work type stuff in the game to really do this the way I'd like to. I'm also thinking maybe I put this too close to the... Maybe a little bit too close to the other fence. Like, maybe if this was further back a little. Which means that I need to actually kind of withdraw my entire farmhouse a little bit away from the main fence. Let's see some of these other suggestions. Let's see here. Ideas. Palerano writes, an overlay to, like, augmented reality technology where people see trash on the street highlighted with, like, a little gem icon, and then they got points for picking up garbage. I've actually been thinking about that. Oh, dang it, I'm eating again. That doesn't make a great Hermitcraft style, like, let's play, or what do you call it, fanfiction. But, like, it would actually be a genuinely good idea, maybe? Like, because people, there's just too much garbage left lying around at parks and on the ground and stuff. And I like the idea of encouraging people to pick that up. And having some sort of, you know, social benefit points for things like that. Now, a lot of Black Mirror episodes have been about, like, rating people. Like, oh, if people are friendly, then you give them, like, 5 stars. And then the more stars they have, you know, the better for them socially. But, I like the idea of, you know, giving people some sort of benefit based on actions, not necessarily based on interactions. Which, a lot of that is just called money right now. But the thing is, like, if you're walking around picking up garbage on the side of the road, you're not getting paid for that. You're either, well, at least in America. I know maybe in some countries, yes. But it's not something that you can just make money for here. And so that's one of those things where, oh, man. It's kind of hard to say how you would encourage people to do that without having some sort of benefit. I wish there was a, like, you know, okay, so Amazon has their Mechanical Turk service where you can pay people a few cents to, like, fill out an online survey. I wish there was a good way to reward people for things like picking up trash like that. The problem is, you know, when you say, oh, hey, we'll pay you to go return here with trash, like, bring a full bag of trash for proof. The problem is that people will go ahead and, like, just take trash from home and false report it, or they might possibly, if you said, okay, take a before and after picture of, like, a side of the road that you cleaned up, well, they might just go ahead and say, well, let's see, I'm going to take the before picture after somebody else cleaned up the road, or I'm going to take a picture of a road that's already clean, claim it's the after picture, and then throw garbage everywhere, and then claim that's the before picture. Like, there's just kind of weird trust incentives when you do stuff like that. Like, there was some sort of campaign in a major city for like some sort of vermin extermination. Like if you turned in squirrel pelts or something because they had too many squirrels, and so people just started breeding squirrels and then turning in those pelts. And it's like, that's not really what we were trying to do, guys. Like A for effort, but B for being terrible. So yeah, how do you encourage people to, because like with the Mechanical Turk forum thing, like, okay, you just fill out a bunch of forms or take surveys and stuff, and like you can't really mess anything up with this, but like with that, you'd be in a situation where people would be encouraged to like possibly make a big mess of cities, and we don't want to do that. Okay, so let's see. Maybe the way to do this lattice work thing would be something with stairs, like that are sideways, so you can kind of see through them, kind of like along here, like that. So that doesn't quite create a lattice, but the core concept kind of works. And then I can like put my actual like porch stones on top of that. Oh, if I wanted the porch to have its own fence, that's going to be a thing too, isn't it? Dang it. Because now this is a half slab, but, well, that's okay. So, and we'll probably just have to put a, like, legitimate cobblestone side post in over there. And now I'm in the ground. Okay, so we'll put some lights in our basement here. And we'll have, like, an actual proper basement, but, like, so this is, like, our basement foyer area, like if you were getting down into the mud room. Then we'll want some like actual stairs made out of wood that would lead up to the porch. So let's go ahead and grab some of those. I figure the porch should be 2-3 blocks wide. So the house is going to be a lot smaller than the big footprint we're creating here. I want the porch to wrap around. I think that would look pretty cool. So I think this is about the middle of the middle of it here. We'll go ahead and just put down our tentative stairs. Dang it. That one kind of got caught on this. If I just kind of put it like this, ooh, it's still going to do that. Well, whatever. At least that makes it look intentional, although it's off center now, but whatever. We'll survive. Other suggestions included Machines Run on the Human Heartbeat by Colton Anthony. And that's an interesting one, but I think that you could argue that the 15 million credits episode of Black Mirror kind of already did that. Now, they had all these people powering all these bikes for some reason, for electrical generation, which I was thinking about that, and the only they never actually say in the episode why that makes sense, because obviously it takes food to, like, turn people, or to get people to do stuff. The only thing that I can figure out is, maybe it's cheaper to make food somehow in this setting, like out of waste products or like they basically found a way to make free food, but the food that they make is not flammable, because if it was, they would just make the free food and then burn it, and so they need a way to turn that chemical energy into mechanical energy, and people are the fastest way to do it. That's the only thing I can think of that makes even a remote amount of sense there, but it's hard to say. Oh, looks like we're not going to want these two. And here we go on this. Okay, this is looking pretty good. This is starting to come together. Does not look very farmhousey because there's not a lot of wood components, but I think once we get the shape together, I mean, granted, we didn't make the barn out of redwood. We made it out of clay, so, you know, and it still says barn. But yeah, I'm not sure exactly how you would even manage to create food that was not flammable, but, or was not, or that could, maybe, food that could be processed by the human body more efficiently than it could be, like, through other means of turning that into energy. But I'm not a biophysicist, or a biochemist, so I'll leave that work to them. I'm not even sure if I'd want the porch to wrap all the way around the back of the house. I definitely would want, though, to have, like a barn access. Dang it, it's the wrong one. A barn access kind of thing here. How does that not... Come on, link. There we go. So we can go ahead and hack this up here. Great. So then this will lead up to here. And that's not bad. Now, I realized that the wood I wanted to make the house out of was birch, and I don't actually have a ton of birch wood. And some people informed me last time that apparently all those signs that say free logs or whatever are misleading, that apparently that's only for members of that club and not a result of a lawsuit. Sorry, that was my bad, as the young people would say. But I'm going to go ahead and real quick grab a little bit of diamonds and see. I think Wood World still sells logs for actual wood. Whoa, where did you come from? Is there like a tunnel up there? Oh, that's funny. I wonder if I could intentionally make pigmen fall out of there, like while I'm recording. So every episode. Whoa. Okay, good. That guy didn't seem to be inside of here. Now I've got some. Oh, I've actually got a lot of diamonds in my ender chest. Okay, I believe Woodworld is up this way. I also think it's nighttime, so I need to be a little bit careful about, creepers blowing up everybody's shops here. Not an optimal or a shoptimal outcome. I'm just going to go through the fancy entrance. Whoa, I like the little globe there. That's very clever. Okay, so let's see. Birch wood. Uh-oh. Is there an actual sign that says the prices? False shop license. Dang it, where's the prices? I'm having a crisis of confidence here. Dang it. Okay, so there's the welcome. If I hover over this, does it say? No. Pay what you want. So now we have enough birch to head back and build out our house a little bit better. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Hope you guys are interested in supporting me. If you get the chance, feel free to check out the links below. You can find my Twitter, twitter.com/JoeHills. You can find my Patreon, patreon.com/JoeHills, and all that stuff. And I've got some exciting announcements about Patreon coming up shortly. But we're going to be adding a book club. Everybody at above the $5 level will be able to participate in a monthly book club. So keep an eye out for that. Anyway, until next time, y'all. This is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring.